Not all Premier League players hit the ground running right away, but Erling Haaland has managed to make it look so easy. The former Dortmund star has proven to be a natural goal scorer, smashing Premier League goal-scoring records this season. How good can Haaland be? And how many record-breaking goals will the Manchester City striker set? Cristiano Ronaldo, Wayne Rooney, Sergio Aguero, and Alan Shearer are among those who are anxiously awaiting the results. Welcome to Total Sports, and in this video, we'll take a look at some possible records Erling Haaland might break in the near future. Shearer holds the record for the quickest player to 100 Premier League goals, scoring 100 in just 124 games in the Blackburn Rovers in the 1995-96 season. Shearer's performance for the Blackburn helped the club win the Premier League's crown in 1994-1995. When he scored 34 goals in 42 games, he later became the world's most expensive footballer when he signed for the Newcastle United for a record $15 million in August 1996. At his current strike rate, Haaland will need at least 2.5 seasons to reach 100 Premier League goals, but with 14 goals in 8 games, Shearer's record is certainly one he could look forward to breaking. Haaland became the first Manchester City player since Francis Lee in 1970 to score a hat-trick against Manchester United in October, and Phil Foden became the second to do so in the same game. Haaland only needed 8 Premier League games to score 3 hat-tricks, and the magnitude of his achievement is underscored by the fact that he broke Michael Owen's record, who scored his 3rd Premier League hat-trick for Liverpool in his 48th game. Shearer and Andy Cole both scored 34 goals in a Premier League season, though both did so in 42 games, with Cole doing so for Newcastle in 1993 to 1994, and Shearer doing so for Blackburn in 1994 to 95. Liverpool's Mohamed Salah retains the record for the most goals in a 38-game season, scoring 32 in 2017 to 18, but Haaland is threatening both the 34 and the 32 goal marks this season. Despite the fact that the last of his 260 goals in 441 games came during the 2005 to 2006 season with Newcastle, Shearer remains the Premier League's all-time leading scorer. Rooney, who retired after scoring 208 Premier League goals in 491 games for Everton and Manchester United, is the only other forward to break the 200-goal barrier, though Tottenham's Harry Kane is closing in and could yet surpass Shearer's tally, and he is only 29 years old. Shearer's record is even more impressive given that he didn't play his first Premier League game until he was 22, after scoring 22 goals in the old First Division with Southampton, and he suffered both a cruciate ligament injury and a serious ankle injury during his peak years at Blackburn and Newcastle. Take away the injuries and add the 22 Premier League goals Shearer scored before the Premier League began in 1992-93, and the former England captain would have easily surpassed 300 club goals. Even if Haaland stayed at the City for 6 seasons, he could have averaged just over 43 goals per season to come close to Shearer's record. Aguero has the most Premier League hat-tricks with 12 for the City during his 10-year tenure at the Etihad. However, with 3 hat-tricks already for City, Haaland could surpass Aguero's record if he continues at this rate and only stays for 3 seasons. Haaland became the first player in Premier League history to score 3 consecutive home game hat-tricks. He accomplished this during his team's match against Manchester United at the Etihad Stadium. Jamie Vardy of Leicester City currently holds a Premier League record for the longest goal-scoring streak. In 2015-16, the Englishman set a record by scoring in 11 consecutive league matches. He surpassed the previous holder, Ruud van Nistelrooy, who scored in 10 consecutive games with 12 goals in 11 games. This record could be broken by Haaland. He has scored in several of his last 6 league games, totaling 12 goals. To break Vardy's record, he would have to score in each of the City's next 6 league games. Vardy finished the 2015 and 16 season with 23 goals to help Leicester City win the Premier League. By the way, if you are watching us for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can enjoy our future videos while getting updated. Coming back to the topic, Rooney has a distinction of scoring the most overall goals in Manchester Derby with 11 for United against the City in all competitions. Joe Hayes and Lee are City's top scorers in the fixture with 10 goals each, but with 3 goals in one game, Haaland could quickly pass both players and Wayne Rooney to become Manchester Derby's greatest prolific goal scorer. With 140 goals for Manchester United, Real Madrid, and Juventus, Ronaldo is the all-time leading scorer in the Champions League. Because of Ronaldo's incredible consistency, many thought it would have never been broken. However, Haaland is establishing himself as a serious threat and will not need to stay at City to break that record. Haaland's 2 goals in City's 5-0 win over FC Copenhagen brought his Champions League tally to 28 goals in 22 appearances for FC Salzburg, Dortmund, and City. If Haaland leaves City in the future, you can bet he'll only play for Champions League heavyweights, ensuring he'll continue to score plenty of goals in Europe. However, Ronaldo's record is formidable. The 37-year-old has the most Champions League appearances, and Haaland will need to play regularly in the competition for the next 10 years to have a chance of breaking it. And he has to stay in shape. Ronaldo may be able to keep his all-time Champions League record, but he may be forced to give it up. During Real Madrid's run to Champions League glory in 2013-14, Ronaldo scored 17 goals in 11 La Liga games, a record for a single season. However, Haaland has already scored 5 goals in 3 European games for City this season. So if Pep Guardiola's team advances further in the competition with a possible 13 games remaining, Ronaldo's tally could be surpassed. Every football crazy kid growing up in England has heard of Dixie Dean's legend. Dean set a record of 60 goals in 39 league games for Everton in the first division of 1927-28, and no one has come close to breaking it since. Tom Waring of Aston Villa scored 49 goals in the 1930-31 season, which is the closest anyone has ever come to emulating Dean, who is commemorated with a statue outside Goodison Park. But is it possible for Haaland to achieve the unthinkable and surpass 60 goals? He has 14 goals in the 8 Premier League games for City, giving him a strike rate of 1.75 goals per game. If he can keep this up for the next 38 games, he could score 66 goals this season. It remains highly unlikely, but the mere mention of Dean's record in relation to Haaland highlights what a remarkable talent he is. Since joining the City for $51 million from Dortmund this summer, Haaland has scored 19 goals in 12 appearances for Pep Guardiola's team. With struggling Southampton visiting the Etihad The former Mold and FC Salzburg forward has a real chance of scoring a hat trick in 4 consecutive home Premier League games. This season, Haaland has already rewritten the record book in a City jersey. He has surpassed club legend Sergio Aguero by scoring in 9 consecutive games, whereas Aguero only managed to score 8 consecutive games on 2 occasions. He has scored 10 Premier League goals in the shortest amount of time and is the first player to score in the first 4 Premier League away games. Alfie Haaland, a former City midfielder, recently stated in the documentary Haaland, The Big Decision, that his son might move around Europe major leagues throughout his career. He says, "I think Erling wants to prove his skills in all leagues. Then he can only stay at Manchester City for 3 to 4 years. He could be 2.5 in Germany, 2.5 in England, and then in Spain, Italy, and France, right?" The clock may be ticking on Erling Haaland's chances of breaking major records in England, but after such a fantastic start to his career and at the Etihad, the 22-year-old is surely in with a chance of notching a few more before hanging up his City jersey. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. Before that, we'd like to know which of these records do you think Haaland will break? Let us know in the comments below. Like this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos just like this. We'll see you in the next one.